In planning the 1978-79 season, artistic director Greg Mosier and I were concerned about the fact that we had difficulty getting people to attend the theater in December because it was holiday season. And so we talked about doing something with a holiday theme and kicked ideas back and forth and finally said, you know, we should do something like A Christmas Carol. And we both said, well, why don't we do A Christmas Carol?
It was actually a huge risk at the time because it was a much bigger production than the Goodman had ever done before. It had 26 or 27 actors, it had multiple sets. It was a much bigger venture, but the effect was almost instantaneous. It sold out its run in 1978, and then gradually it just became a yearly tradition.
I think the best theater is about reflecting the human condition. It's such a basic human story about redemption and change and overcoming pain and fear.
And it's really one of the few kinds of holiday entertainments that everybody in the family can enjoy equally. Watching Scrooge transform is not only instructive to us, it's a lot of fun because he turns from arguably the meanest man in the world into the happiest man in the world, literally like that.
And the most amazing thing about doing the show is that I know, for whatever reason, the audience takes that journey with me. And to see the faces on the audience at the end and the tears on their face when finally Scrooge emerges is just amazing, and that alone is worth doing it again and again and again.
I think the key to the popularity of Christmas Carol is that we take it very seriously at the Goodman Theater as an artistic experience, and we try very hard to keep the show fresh.
They've certainly evolved, but I think that depends also on the vision of the director, and I feel like each director has shaped things in different ways.
We have different directors come in every 2 or 3 years to bring their perspectives to the show. We certainly bring in different cast members to bring their perspectives to the show, although some casts do return for multiple years.
And I think that whole family reunion thing that happens to those of us who've been in the production year after year after year is infectious and is something that feels that way even to the newcomers who come in.
The young performers do affect the energy of the room. They are a very big part and essential to the entire tone of the whole production for everybody, particularly me, because I become a child again at the end of the play. So it's like I join forces with them.
People come in and out of this show, and once you're in, once you've done it, you're part of the family. This is, at this point, it's like half my life.
So it's a sort of feast for the heart, the play, which is what I really care about. But because we're dealing with ghosts and spirits and another worldly element, we have the chance for some magic to happen.
Well, the technical elements of the production have certainly evolved as we moved from the old Goodman Theater space on Columbus Drive to the new Goodman facility on Dearborn Street. In the old Goodman Theater, we had no way to fly anybody because we didn't have enough height in the ceiling of the theater to be able to do that. So it has grown, and certainly the physical production has grown, but we try to retain the magic that we had when we first did it.
I think that's the core of the success over the years, plus the fact that we never ever take it for granted. Every element each year is looked at very closely and looked at from the standpoint of not only how can we maintain what's there, but how can we make it better? How can we enhance it for our audiences?
The story remains the same, but the different stars that sparkle around it change and move a little bit.
The interesting thing is I've directed the show a number of times, I've produced the show for years, I've seen it hundreds of times, and every time I see it, I fall for it. I get scared, I laugh, I cry. I forget, even in the years when I've directed it, I forget how all the stuff is done, and I just get swept along by the story. And if it can work on somebody like me, it can work on anybody, let me tell you.